Welcome,
Welcome. So,
soul, light, and body. Today is such a beautiful day because we are here once again and we are given this golden opportunity that we could receive that inner peace that we are looking for. But it all depends on our mindset. It all depends on our mindset and where we are putting our attention. And today we got such a two beautiful guests here today, and they're really going to help us to understand mindset, forgiveness, inner peace, enlightenment, awakening. So, today, we just would like you to sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, green juice, a glass of water, and grab a notepad and a pen because you're going to be able to get some very good juicy notes and nuggets today, and you're going to write it down and you could use it for yourself on your journey here. We have two monks today, and they will really help to unfold and help us to understand more in depth about our lives and how we should really walk this path on earth. What are some of the things that we could embrace, some of the modalities like meditation? These modalities really help us to calm the mind and to help us to move through life with clarity, because a lot of times you find that we are looking for things on the outside and not realizing the first thing we need to achieve is the inner peace. It's to calm the mind with those thoughts, those racing thoughts that really make us feel not so good about ourselves. What are some of the things that you're telling yourself today when you stand in front of the mirror? Are they good things? Are you loving on yourself? Do you have that inner peace, that calmness? What are some of the modalities that you're using to really calm yourself and to achieve that inner peace? Because many times we are on the go all the time and we're not finding that time to really calm the mind. Be mindful of your moments, each present moment that you breathe. Be mindful of the present moment. Are you practicing mindfulness? Are you practicing kindness? Are you being kind to yourself? That's the most important thing. Are you being kind to yourself? Because it starts with you. It all starts with you. You have to be kind to yourself. Do you have a relationship with yourself? How are you seeing yourself? Because many times we don't even have a relationship with ourselves. So how can we have a relationship with someone else? It all starts with you. Do you have a morning routine? Many of us just wake up from our beds each morning and we don't even stop to say thank you, to give gratitude for the breath that we breathe. We don't even stop to give gratitude. Are you still doing your journaling? Are you writing down the things that you're grateful for each day? Because it is so important that we really embrace the present moments in our lives. Are you pausing? Because many times we're just on the go all the time. We don't even stop to pause and to look within our lives to see how our lives are going. And if it's not going the way how we would like our lives to go, it's time to really make the change. And to make the change, you have to go within. You've got to silence the mind. Find the wisdom from silent mind. That is our topic this morning. Wisdom from silent mind. So today, just sit back, take some notes, and truly understand yourself, understand who you are, your purpose here. I'm Karen Pascal, holistic health and wellness coach and a co-author of 2 ebooks with my sister Joan Williams. And we also have a digital magazine and a hard copy magazine. And if you have not received our magazine as yet, please subscribe and it will appear in your inbox and to your address, so you can have it on your nightstand. There are a lot of good stuff in those magazines that could really help you as you move along your journey here. And if you have not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please feel free to do so, because every week there is so much value that Soul, Light, and Body bring to this platform, and you could walk away with so many tools for your toolkit. I'll now hand you over to Miss Joan Williams.
Hi, good morning. Great opening as always. Happy that you guys are able to join us, those who will be joining us and those who's going to be catching us on the replay. And it's such a great and beautiful day because you're here.
True.
You're still breathing.
Mm-hmm.
What a gift to life that you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
You can live out your purpose. You can give that contribution. You can serve. There's beauty in serving. There's beauty in serving others.
True.
It's amazing when we can serve others with whatever area we're serving. But it's just a beauty that we're giving back. And it's a beauty in giving because it's reciprocated. There's reciprocation in the process. How are you living your life? And where are you at in the process
True.
of living? Are you able every day to starting out setting your intentions? Setting your intentions is so important. And as we always say here on Soul, Light, and Body, when you set your intentions, you want to set it with a level of clarity. Be clear as crystal. This is what I want. This is what I'm going after. This is what I need for my life. This is what is going to help me to live my true potential. This is my purpose. So you're setting it with clarity. And when you set it with clarity, move with a level of confidence. Be self-assured that this is what I want. This is what I'm working towards. And be firm about it. Oh, and not forgetting you got to set up those boundaries. You got to set those boundaries because setting boundaries is for our well-being. We got to set those boundaries. And what we got to do also, a beautiful thing to do, is remind ourselves who we are. You're special. You're beautiful. You're one of a kind. And you're worthy. Get to the space of worthiness. You're worthy. You're deserving of what you're doing. And don't forget, show yourself love and compassion. That is so essential. Walk with grace. How are you showing up in the world? What are you bringing to the table? And continue to add value to yourself. Add value to what are you listening to? What are you pouring on yourself every day as you show up in the world? Because what we put in and what we pour in ourselves, that is what we're going to bring out to the world. And not forgetting, you got to nourish yourself. You got to nourish yourself because this body, this vehicle of life, that's the only one that we have to travel through. We got to take good care of it. We got to practice self-care. And self-care come in different levels. But we got to nourish ourselves on the inside. And the 12 components that we talk about is your relationship. How is your relationship with yourself, your family, your loved ones, and your environment? How are we navigating in our environment within and outside? What are we not letting go? What are we holding on to that is hindering us from taking that next step, but it's not allowing the good to come to us? Because we all want to walk in that level of goodness. But to attain that and to attain that peace, there's certain things got to be clear. And I like, Karen, as you spoke about journaling, because that is so essential. We got to get it out, let it get it on paper. And let yourself know that whatever the dreams or whatever desire that you are impregnated with, you can bring that out. The world is waiting because the world is waiting. The people are depending on that dream of yours, that book you got to write, that business you got to start, whatever that is that you came with and your level of assignment. Take the next step. Have that courage, that level of confidence. As soon as you start to embrace that, the universe is going to support you. You'll be surprised. The universe is going to support you on that level of journey. So bring that out today. We're waiting. And just remember that you got this. You got this. You got this. Thanks for all of you who've given us the reviews of the magazine, because it's a nice additional piece that you can have on your nightstand, a daily read. You can practice or get into the kitchen and do some of those recipes and then share those recipes with us. It's fun. Don't forget to have fun in life. Could be busy all the time doing so many different things. Pause a little bit, have some fun. Embrace that joy within you. Whatever you're working on a project, we all are working on projects. Stop along the way and embrace a good step. Soak it in. You work hard to attain that. That's you. My name is Joan Williams, holistic health and wellness coach, and also co-author of 2 ebooks. And we're working on so many other projects. And today's a great day where we have 2 monks who is going to give us and guide us and inspire us how we can attain that thing called peace, which we all want. We live such a busy lives, and peace is so essential. And they will tell us how we can attain that and live that life. So Bishop Monk Burin and Monk Santi, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us how, well, both of you at your time could tell us what led you to this journey, being here and going to provide us with this level of calmness, serenity, tranquility. How did we get to this journey?
Bhikkhu Santi, you want to start first or?
Oh, after you, Monk. After you, Monk Burin.
Okay, first of all, thanks Karen and Joanne for having me. And I'm so delightful that you have this wonderful soul, light, and body community. The world really needs this energy right now.
Yes.
And what really bring me to this path, it is quite relevant right now, but more than, I think, almost 30 years ago. It sounds like a long time, but I become a monk now 23 years.
Wow.
So during my teenage time, yeah, I ordained 22, so you can kind of guess how old I am. But during the teenage time, I have mental health problem. Yeah, in the school. Yeah. Sorry to say, but I read too many how-to books, like how to be rich, how to be successful, not spiritual book, but how to be smart and intelligent and perfectionist. Yeah, I want number 1 only. I don't like number 2. So I create my own suffering. Yeah. When I'm number 1, I just feel okay. But I lose it, I feel terrible.
Mhm.
So I start to have my chronic pain, kinds of migraine things, not from my mom, not from my dad, just from my wrong thinking pattern. That happiness is outside. Happiness, you need to run for it outside. So I confront suffering, we call dukkha in Pali. quite young. I remember my hair turned white in some moment. Now I have more black hair than now. It's incredible how your thought transform your body.
Yeah.
So that time, there's a moment that I have much stress and I want to commit suicide.
Wow.
Something from the blessing of my mom, who tried the best to expose her son to the Buddhist monk when they walk arms round in the mornings in Thailand. And those kinds of connection when I was young bring peace to my mind. When I remember that moment when I received the blessing from the old monk, give the answer, I have everything but no peace. Yeah. So the next day, I walked to the bookstore, spiritual book. Yeah, and that happened when I'm around 18, 19. So that's the starting point, and then I become a monk. I learned, and wow,
Right.
that's the wrong pattern. To be happy, Buddha said, think good thought, speak good word, and do good action. So it's shift. And from that moment, I realized that there's so much challenge. What is the truth? What is the real knowledge and wisdom that can really make us happy, not just become successful and depressed? So that's how I start. And then in 2000, I ordained 2 times when I'm in school during the summer break. And after I graduate, I ordained the second time. And that happened in 2000 until now, 23 years already.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you for sharing that. It's truly awesome and amazing that in your share, how things have shifted just by doing certain things. Your life has shifted and brought you, and so now you're living your journey and impacting the world and helping others and making a difference. So thank you so much.
I'm grateful for that.
Monk Santis.
Good morning, everyone. It's very nice to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I was chatting before we went live with Karen about how much I admire the work that you're doing and recognize that it's really kind of the same work that we're doing as monks, in the sense that it starts from the idea that peace, happiness, contentment, joy can't be realized in our world, in our lives together, in the conditions and the circumstances of our lives, unless we find it within ourselves first. That the two are tied together. There's no world peace without peaceful people.
True.
And the opposite is also true. There's no peaceful people without sufficient peace in the world to support us. So I really respect what you're doing. I think it's important. I think it's important for all of your members of your community to work on ourselves in just the way that monks do, actually, as part of our way of giving to others and supporting each other. But to answer your question, how did I come to the monastic path? It's kind of the same answer for. I'll offer my own version of the same answer as Monk Burin, and really the same answer as all of my fellow monks. There's kind of a cliche in Buddhist circles of like, well, why did you start meditating? Why did you get on the path? And the cliched answer is, well, suffering. I was suffering. Of course, we each suffer in our own way. And we may have to go through many possible attempts, many possible solutions to our problem of suffering before we get to the one that's really going to help us forward, which is working on ourselves, which is cultivating an inner foundation of peace. I came to it much later in life than Monk Burin. I'm actually a much younger monk, maybe a much older man. But a younger monk. I've been living as a monastic for 7 years and fully ordained for 5. I was 48 when I started living as a monastic. I was fortunate to have the path open up for me. It's much less obviously part of Western American culture to have the opportunity to become a monk. But yeah, I was very fortunate. I started with a secular mindfulness movement. I went on a meditation retreat. It was wonderful. It was like a huge door opening in my life, seeing myself and my problems and my patterns through fresh eyes. That I felt like the perspective that it gave me. It was a kind of rebirth, just seeing things afresh at age 48 in a way that I hadn't thought I'd ever be able to. And yeah, what I saw was that I create myself in every moment, that I can learn to let go of the patterns that are pulling me down and to embrace the ones that are lifting me up. That's the effort that a monk practices in the Buddhist teaching, the formal traditional teachings. It's called right effort. It's cultivating the wholesome, healthy, uplifting, positive states of mind, and causing to diminish, letting go of the states that pull me down. And that's what I've been practicing for these 7 years. And it's not work that I think is ever done until it's done. We have this ideal of enlightenment, and it's something that each of us can achieve in this very life, as we say in the Buddhist world. It's something that's possible for every human being, but it's something that we don't get to by grasping for. We don't get to by punishing ourselves to achieve more quickly or suffering in order to get. It's something we aspire to and cultivate. So that's a little bit of a self-intro and an explanation of how I started off.
Oh, thank you both so much. And we so appreciate both of you because we value your time for being here with us and share with us. And there's so many things that both of you have said, but I just want to tap into and ask the question, and both of you can answer. How are we able, because all of us are trying to attain that level of peace in different areas. We're going through challenges. It's a busy life for all of us. We do so many things on a daily basis. What is one thing that we can do from today, listeners who are here live with us and those who are going to catch us on the replay? How do we attain that peace? What one thing that we can shift and change this moment today that we can attain that results? Where's our entry point? Where do we start from to channel in to attain that level of peace?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can go first.
You are my elder.
Yeah. I remember when I was in the Philippines in 2013. I'm blessed to be a Buddhist monk among Catholic friends who want to learn meditation. And they share with me something that interesting. They said, when you pray, you talk to God. When you meditate, God talk to you. And I found that connection with God and the connection I have the Buddha nature is on the same line. So I would say one term, slow down. That's the most important thing, that to live a happy life is not too much about the speed, it's about a direction.
Wow,
love that.
Where you are heading to. If it's a wrong direction, it's not the right direction, you fall from the cliff sooner. But if it's the right direction, it will take longer. It takes you to the top of the mountain. So slow down to see the direction, and in praying, in meditation, that's how you refine that direction, connect to something bigger than yourself, bright and shining. So slow down a little bit, and then you're gonna get it right. Okay.
I really love what you said. Slow down, slow down.
Wow.
Because we all are on the go all the time, and we're not finding that time to slow ourselves down.
Beautiful.
And you really explained to us that once we slow down, there is so many things could happen for us. And you said it's not about the speed, because we all think we gotta get to this next thing. You know, we gotta speed up to get to this next thing. It's not about the speed.
Wow.
And we have to enjoy each moment towards where we are walking to, what we are walking to. We have to enjoy these moments.
Yeah. You know, one little thing we'd like to add that is very common while we travel. And sometimes we feel like I'm getting lost. Like, you know that it's not where you go. You need to reset your GPS.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Love it.
Here right now, we see what's happening. We kind of get lost in love and happiness. So reset your GPS and find a moment to pray, to meditate. It looks like slow down, but it's really lift your spirit, give your soul, connect to that shining quality. It works. Slowing down to live happier. Yeah.
Oh, that is so beautiful, Monk Burin. That's what we need.
Yeah.
When we say one thing that we can do from this moment, you've given us that.
So I pass it to Bhikkhu Santi.
Yeah, thank you, Monk Burin. The answer that came to mind for me when I heard the question is kind of a variation on that same answer. It's maybe a practical suggestion for the tough situations that might come up today, the moments of frustration or of anger or of panic or of challenge. And that answer is simply pause. Use pausing. It's a very, very important possible response we can have to a challenging circumstance. Sometimes, of course, you have to act quickly, but usually there's time to pause. Take a breath. In that space of one breath, one moment's pause, one moment's reflection, your mind can indeed fall silent for a beat. And in that moment, there can emerge reflection. There can emerge a kind of deeper discernment of where you are and what you're doing, what you're about to do, what you're feeling. It's a mini slowing down. It's the slowing down that Monk Burin was just describing in a moment, at a key point. So the next time today some challenging circumstance arises, something happens you don't like, or you're about to begin doing something that may or may not have consequences, just take a breath. Make sure it's what you really want to do. Come to a place of stillness before you initiate.
I'm so happy thank you for explaining that. I'm so happy you mentioned come to a place of stillness. Come to a place of stillness. And that is stillness. And that is something we all can do because we are moving through with different challenges. We might be coming through some level of adversity or something that is very monumental and hard or suffering, as you mentioned. Come to a place of stillness where we can achieve that level of peace, quiet that mind, and then we are able to make that decision what the next step is. Talk to us about meditation and how it's important and how we benefit from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because Santi, maybe you can go first. We can alternate.
Thank you, Monk Burin. By the way, Bhikkhu and monk, they mean the same thing. Bhikkhu is a word in the language of the Buddhist scriptures. It just means monk. So go by monk Santi just as well. And he's Bhikkhu Burin. Okay. So I think the main point that I would like to make about meditation that might be not familiar to all of the members of your community is that silent mind, the inner stillness, the inner balance, the inner point of discernment that we're talking about, it's never something to beat yourself up about. It's not something that we cultivate or reach through struggle. It's also not something that you, and this is really essential, it's not something that you are lacking. It's easy to think about, well, my mind is always chattering, so I don't have inner stillness. I don't have inner peace. If only I could have inner peace, my mind would stop chattering. Actually, that's a misunderstanding. When we speak aloud, we're speaking into silence. We can't have words without the space around words. We can't think in a mind that isn't there. And what the mind that's there that we're thinking within is the inner silence that we're talking about. You can't not have inner silence. You can neurotically fill it all the time with negative thoughts, but you can't get rid of it. It's always there. You can't, in a sense, totally drown it out. You can drown it out enough that you lose sight of it, that you're not aware of it, but it's still there. And in fact, I think our thoughts can become so frequently troubling that we start to hate thought itself. We start to think that anything in our minds is bad, is distracting us, is painful, is ugly. But that's really just negative conditioning. We can have thoughts that are uplifting, that take us in the right direction. We can cultivate feelings, other mental content that's entirely positive, that lifts us up. The silent mind is the context of that. When we're meditating, we're not trying to snuff out all of our thoughts. We're trying to tap into, we're trying to access what's already there. I could say a lot more about that, but I bet Monk Burin can get us onto a clearer track.
Thank you, Mr. Santi. Yeah.
Thank you.
One of the common thing that now I use it to explain about meditation is I call it a mind shower, a shower of the mind. And why I use that? Because it's something very fundamental. But for body shower, we have no problem, right? And everyone take a shower. Busy day, sad day, or very hectic day, you shower anyway. Because it's something you know is good for you. It's good for you. And what we learn from the Buddha is that there's a dirt arising, not just for the body, but for the mind on a daily basis. Yeah, without a mind shower, you get crazy because too many bad stuff and a lot more on your phone if you not mindful enough. Sometimes we take suffering, unnecessary sufferings from something, from somewhere uncontrollable. And if we can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's very easy to remember. Shower the body, shower the mind, and do something else. And before you go to bed, shower the body, shower the mind, and have a good sleep. That could be something very basic, but very useful, like the way that if you take in opposite way, you understand. Imagine tonight you don't take a shower your body. What happened the next day? How you feel during the day? So the life without shower is terrible, right? Even for the body. I think the mind is even more. And that's why suicide rate, crime, violence, we lack a shower of mind. So be kind to yourself. Shower your body, shower your mind, and your family will get that blessing too, and your community. So just take a shower. Simple. Take a shower.
Yes.
And everyone need it. Children take a shower, adult take a shower, everyone take a shower. I think that's all we need right now, that just shower and take care of yourself well. The world will be a better place.
Yeah.
Karen?
Yes, listening to you, both of you, and it really helps one to understand that we all can really go within ourselves and find that inner peace that we are looking for. It's within our reach. It's not far away from us. It's within us. But many times we are looking for that peace on the outside. We are looking for happiness on the outside, not knowing that we are happiness, we are peace. So we have to pause and go within, find that moment where we could sit, we could pause and go within ourselves to find what we are looking for. And Monk Burin, I really like when you said shower the mind. Because if we could really shower the mind, it will be cleansing. Because when we're showering the body, we are cleansing all the impurities, we are washing off. So if we could only use that same way of showering the mind, is to help those thoughts that we may having about ourselves and about other people, is to help us to really shower the mind and start to have clarity about ourselves, have clarity about other individuals that we are dealing with every single day, and individuals who we're going to meet along on our journey here. So it's a beautiful way how both of you really put it over, that we could understand exactly how we could really go within ourselves, pause, find that space where we could go, use meditation as a modality that we could really help ourselves to receive and to achieve that inner peace that we're looking for. There is a question coming from Steve Butcher. Out of curiosity, it seems that beyond happiness and acceptance is love. Beyond love is unity. Beyond unity is balance or nothing. Is there any possible steps beyond?
Thanks for that question, Stephen.
It's your turn to go first, Venerable Burin.
Yeah. Wow, very profound question. Okay. I will answer from my experience in Buddhism, and also I travel 30 countries. I meet non-Buddhist friends all the time. I think in that unity or oneness or nothingness is similar to the big ocean. The big ocean, and there are the lake, there are the pond, many spots purity, of cleanliness, of good quality. So from my understanding and practicing meditation and the Dharma, at one certain spot is oneness, and that oneness and everything is just one. Yeah, and there any possible step beyond is a larger ocean of peace, happiness, and become larger and larger. That maybe one day we don't have any more war, any more fighting, and
Yeah.
so I believe that from wellness we can lead to kindness, and from kindness we can lead to greatness for all, and we have unlimited oneness that will take care of the whole humanities and beyond, even in the other universe, in the Mars or something. Yeah, so that will be my reflection on that very interesting question.
It is. Thank you for explaining.
Well, I think that Monk Burin's answer to the content of the question, to the substance of Steve's question, was really full, really complete, enriching. Thank you, both for the question and for that beautiful answer, Monk Burin. I would like to offer a kind of right angle kind of question, to take it a little bit sideways, and just note that when the mind does start to become a little more peaceful, when we do start to expand and look at the totality of things, beautiful thoughts like the thoughts reflected in that question and in Monk Burin's answer start to appear to us, and beautiful ideas come into the mind. They can be really uplifting. But it's important to recognize that question, that kind of question, and those kind of philosophical ideas are a result, they're a consequence of calming the mind, slowing down enough to be able to appreciate and think and reflect and draw conclusions. But that's not that kind of beautiful thought in itself is not the cause of having a larger vision. It starts from having the inner peace. And I love Monk Burin's simile of a shower, that meditation, the simple daily practice, it's like taking a shower. As with the situation, if you don't take a shower, you start to smell. If other people don't take a shower, they start to smell. You can't smell anything else. You can't smell any of the beautiful things. If you take the shower, then the air is clear. You can smell the beautiful flowers. You can think the beautiful thoughts, to jump to what the simile stands for. All of this leads me to the sort of practical suggestion that we don't want to get caught up in our philosophy too much, to the exclusion of actually doing the work of taking our time, pausing before we jump into difficult situations, taking our daily shower of meditation, spending time with the quiet mind that all of the beautiful thoughts actually come from, and the clear thinking that we need to appreciate that kind of thought. And I mention this only because it's very easy to fix on some philosophical idea and just carry on with as painful and difficult a life as we were leading before we ever heard the idea.
Well, thank you so much for both of you, and thank you, Steve, for your question, because it's guiding us. It's helping us and put us in a different space where we can think, quieten the mind, as Bishop Burin talked about, the showering of our minds, so we can be able to establish that level of peace, refocusing, and help us to achieve all our goals, living out our purpose, and put us in a different space and guiding us on our journey in this life. Thank you.
Yeah. We are here, and we are moving through life. And again, we don't stop we don't pause, we don't check in. And when we really look at our lives, how we are moving through different phases. Every day we are given a chance. We are given a chance to look at our lives. And if we realize that our lives are not going in the direction that we really wanted to go, it's time for us as Monk Burin to check our GPS. Mm-hmm. Because let's look at it, we are driving a car, and when we leave home, we are going to a particular store, right? But there could be so many directions maybe we could take to go to that one store. But the goal is going to the store. So if we want to achieve that peace, that inner peace that we are looking for, we could use different modalities, but the one common goal is to receive that inner peace. So what are your modalities that you're using to receive that inner peace that you're looking for? And if you find that you may be using one thing and it's not working, you could try something else. Because the goal here is to receive that inner peace, to silence the mind and to receive that inner peace. And there is wisdom. When you go deep within, there is wisdom that you can unfold about your mind. Because the mind really helps us to understand so many things. Because the thoughts that, like both of you monks said, whatever you project out, that is what is going to come back to you. So we got to be so careful with the thoughts that we think every single day. It is super important. Because when whatever thoughts you were thinking, it's like a movie screen. That is what you're going to play out. So you have to be so vigilant of what you are thinking, what you're listening to, what you're focusing your mind on. For instance, like when you're going to start off your day, what are you really doing to start off your day? Because that is going to set the tone of the day. See, if you're deciding to use meditation to start off your day, or whatever modality, if it's prayers, whatever modality you're using to start off your day, that really helps you to fuel yourself to go through the day. So whatever comes up during the day, you already have the right fuel so you could go through that day. But if you don't start the day right, when something arises in your life during the day, you'll find that you're all over the place because you didn't start the day right. Because we all go through challenges, but it's whatever we have in our toolbox and how we start our day, we are really able to navigate and understand exactly what's happening to us during the day. There is someone asking a question before I ask my question. Can I maintain my orthodox ways and simultaneously honor the Buddhist tradition?
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good question for you, Bhikkhu Santi, from your Judaism background.
Yeah, well, I was never an Orthodox Jew. I guess it depends on which orthodoxy. You know, if you're talking about having a religious faith, most religious faiths, from a Buddhist viewpoint, sure, you can absolutely practice meditation, Buddhist meditation in any religion. It doesn't need to be understood in a religious way. It's a way of showering the mind. You can take a shower in any religion for your body. You can also take a shower for your mind. There are some religions which will teach you, don't do that. That's going to the devil. And then, you've got to make a choice. Do I want to take this kind of shower or not? I guess that's my short answer. I saw that there was another question that flashed by. Why don't we come back to that, and maybe Monk Burin would like to answer this question too.
What was that? Who Buju?
Someone looked at my website. That's a really deep question. The question is about the Buddhist idea of not self, the idea that in some sense to arrive at true enlightenment, to truly understanding how things are, we need to lose ourselves, to let go of ourselves. So a lot gets lost in the translation of both the concepts and the words from the ancient Buddhist scriptures into modern English. When we use the term lose ourselves in modern English, we think of some kind of total destruction of our identity. That's not what I understand it to mean. That's not what it means. We're not destroying our personal identity. It's an appealing idea if there are parts of your identity that you're dissatisfied with, or you don't like, or you're frustrated by, but it's not really a mature way to think about it. And to illustrate that, I invite you to just think, what would it really be like to have no personal identity, to just be a blank slate? Or for that matter, to have a totally silent mind that never has any thoughts in it. What would that really be like? Well, if you really think about it, it would be like, being in a psychiatric institution, incapacitated, with others needing to shovel food into your mouth and take care of you. So we don't need to understand losing yourself in an extreme way. A outlook that is an outlook developing towards enlightenment needs to think, needs to have a personal identity. The point is to have healthy, constructive, wholesome thoughts and an identity that is positive. That's a positive presence. It's more about having a flexible, growing, growth-oriented identity rather than a stuck, fixed, negative identity. That's a short answer to the question. I hope that's helpful. Monk Burin, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah. I would like to share this wisdom from my master, who, when you say about orthodox, would like to ask how old or how ancient you want to go back. And my master, he said, all spiritual teacher, when the beautiful things start, they are alone in the silence. Like a Buddha in the Bodhi tree, Jesus, Muhammad, they go to the cave, it's no talk. I think this is so orthodox, so original. And my master said that if we want to become one, if we want to embrace each other, we need to go back to a very original version, which is meditation, which is inner peace. I don't want to comment what happened along the line during that moment that religion become organized system, but I would like to encourage, no matter who you are, no matter what point in the history of your tradition is, go back to where your leader start. And that is the point that we can really become one. I think that's one key thought that he shared with me. When I go anywhere, I teach, shower the mind, take care of yourself well, and I do not touch on some discussion on the doctrine or anything. Practice, and then let's see for yourself. I think that's the first important thought I'd like to share. The second one, he said something very interesting. He said, truth is one, like a sun in the sky that shine for all. Shine to Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, Catholic, shine to even atheists, shine to Muslim, shine to everyone. So the truth never divide. The truth always embrace. You are Muslim, you are Buddhist, you are atheist, you wash your clothes, you put it outside, the sun will dry your cloth. No selection of that for everyone. So if we have this mindset, we do not judge each other, we practice to be quiet and go back to my mother called the inner sun that shine for all also. Not the outer sun, but the inner sun that shine for all, but have different name. Like how we call the sun differently. In English, we call sun. In Chinese, they call Tai Yang. From my country, Thailand, we call Praatit. 1 syllable, 2 syllable, 3 syllable is one thing. So
Yeah.
let's go beyond the name, but go to the essence when you are in the silent mind. And we will know there's no conflict between any tradition. It just we need to be together to understand it.
Wow. Beautiful, beautifully explained by both of you. And this brings me to our next question. Why is there poverty and suffering in the world?
Mm-hmm. Okay, because Santi, you can go first.
So, different religious faiths will kind of give different answers to the question of evil. That's what we're talking about here. Why is there evil? Why do people suffer? Innocent people often. Why did children get sick? And I think that the different answers that different religious faiths provide, from the major faiths, they each have importance in helping us understand why there is suffering. The Buddhist approach is start not from the why. Don't start from the why, but simply from the reality of it, like how. We know that there is suffering. How are we going to respond to it? What is the most skillful way that we have to respond to it? Getting caught up in the why, which ultimately is not a question we can definitively answer. There's no answer we're going to get that is going to permanently satisfy us, and ultimately isn't itself. We want to know why because we want to solve the problem, but the solution to the problem is not in the why, it's in how we respond to the reality of suffering. The Buddha's central teaching is the teaching on suffering. How do we understand suffering and how do we respond to it? The short answer is that the origin of, I'm gonna let Burin take it from there. So I brought you to the noble truths. What is this suffering that we find in the world? The question was, well, why is there suffering? How do we respond to it? That's my question. That's how I would reframe the question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I will have some different aspects.
Please.
Of that. But there's two parts, right? Poverty and then suffering.
Yes.
Two parts. The Buddha, he always have something not optimistic or pessimistic, realistic. And many people who study Buddhism, when they see suffering, and Buddha, why you not look life is wonderful, life is beautiful, or it's just the language, it's just a term. Because in the Four Noble Truths that Bhikkhu Santi touched a bit, Buddha talk about you want a good life, you understand the Four Noble Truths. Yeah, what is suffering? What is the cause of suffering? The end of suffering and the path to the end of suffering. When we saw the end of suffering, that is limitless happiness. No more suffering. So there happiness hidden in that Four Noble Truths. So when we talk about poverty and we talk about suffering, there's something hidden that there's a possibility in it. And he shared 2 tracks. Yeah, we can talk about wealth in this sense. Yeah, the neutral term, like a wealth. He mentioned that if we have more giving in the world, if we have more kindness in the world, it can be shared. The other day, I watched some documentary. The reporter come from Thailand, but they do like a research that in New York City, especially Manhattan, has so many waste food. They throw away food a lot. And then there's a group go to each garbage and look for the good food that just throw from the shop just 1 minute. But they want thing to be beautiful. It's still edible, but they want it on the shelf. You know, that I see something in that. We have enough resource in the world. Yeah, but if we just put kindness, giving, or we can solve it. So in poverty, there's a possibility of generosity, of giving, that it could be done. And it's just something like what is the action we want to take? So if we have more giving, more sense of we are not alone in the world, this is a big family. What we can do to that? We can fix poverty.
Yes.
Poverty.
Yes.
About suffering. Yeah, it looks like, oh, it's suffering. But there's a possibility that I like the analogy that when we talk about Buddha teaching, is that the lotus that rise up from the mud. Yeah. The lotus is beautiful and the mud is there, but the lotus come out from the mud. So in the suffering, in the challenge, there's a possibility to be stronger, happier, brighter. So if we practice Dhamma, which means understand the truth, we know why we suffer, what is the cause of it, what is the end of it, and that's a path to the end of it, which we call the Four Noble Truth. That if we practice in a correct way, a certain way, suffering can be done yeah, for ourselves and then more people. Maybe Santi, you want to touch more? I think we we can really throw the ball of Dhamma.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, can Monk Santi repeat the point that he was making, where he referenced the mind with no thoughts to bring in the psychic ward? Just want to understand the point better.
Thanks for asking. I may not have been clear enough in making that comparison. The key point in my comparison is that the aim of meditation is not to achieve a mind that never has any thoughts. It's to take a dip into the silent mind and spend a finite time there, a limited time there. We're not aiming to never have any thoughts, and we're not saying that thoughts are all bad. That's my point. Monk Burin's comparison was to a shower. Let's change it for a minute to a bath. It's like taking a bath. When we take a bath, sometimes we just plunge our body under the water, and it's really refreshing, really beautiful, really cleansing. But we don't want to stay under the water. We can't live under the water. If we live under the water, that's it. We're done. We need to come out of the water, refreshed, clean, with a clear mind and an open heart, and start again. That was my point. We're not striving to annihilate the mind. We're not striving to destroy the thinking mind. We are dipping into the peace and the silence and the refreshment that actually all of our good thoughts, all of our wholesome feelings, moods, states of mind come from.
Wow. Beautifully explained. Yeah, beautifully explained. What do Buddhists believe happens after death?
After death?
Yes.
Monk Burin?
Yeah, I can go first so you can take a break. Yeah. In the okay, let me explain this way. When Buddhism come to America, especially in the Western world, I call it selective Buddhism. You know, people in the West pick like a mindfulness, maybe they don't want to touch on afterlife too much. So Buddhism, in some way, like more like a philosophy. Yeah, more like not like something in the church that what happened, isn't that? But actually, what I learned from teaching, the truth is one. The truth is one. But it's just what angle, what part that we take a look in it. I was invited to give a teaching at one of interfaith seminaries in New York. And one guy who really with God, praying all the time, said, what Buddha say? Like he curious that Buddha have something be after death or not, and said, yeah, there's thing written in Pali Canon on that. And like we have today, we have yesterday, we have tomorrow. Yeah. So this life, the past, and the next one. And it like a cycle. Nirvana, which can consider eternal heaven, is outside the cycle. So after we die, the hardware expire. This body expire. The software continue. Yeah. Sometimes we call that karmic collectiveness. That this software find a new hardware. And then continue of purification. So that is some brief explanation, and we hope one day we don't need to go round and round, born and get sick and die and war. Let's go to eternal peace, eternal heaven, and hope we can bring all to that oceans of eternal happiness together. Yeah, I pass it to Bhikkhu Santi.
That's beautiful.
That's beautifully explained indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Monk Burin. That was a very complete description of the kind of the Buddhist idea of death and rebirth, and our escape from the cycle of karma, and what that might look like. The only thought I would add is something that is, I think, kind of unique to the Buddha's teaching, which isn't about that beautiful answer, but it's kind of about the question, like, what happens to me after I die? For many of us, that's a question that takes root and lives throughout our whole life inside of us, like this wondering, like, well, what's going to happen to me? And it can become a very anxious question, like a source of fear and a source of insecurity. The teaching of the Buddha, as I understand it, invites us not just to look at the answer as a way out of that fear, that uncertainty, but at the question itself, like, why does this question bother me? And to me, the key point of the Buddhist teaching is that it bothers me because of the uncertainty, because of the not knowing. Mm-hmm. One of the features of our existence, our life, is uncertainty, and that is the emotional reality of suffering. That's what dukkha is all about. It's being uncertain. That's the mental side of it. So we get this set of tools. One of the tools is meditation, but there are others in the web of the Buddhist teachings that allow us to live with uncertainty, and not only to live, but to thrive, to come to peace, even in a world of uncertainty. And in a way, the question, well, what happens to me after I die? It's kind of the ultimate uncertainty. Death is certain. Nobody doubts that. Death is certain.
Right.
How are we going to meet the uncertainty of what lies beyond it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is $1 million question. I like how you talk about, thanks to both of you answering the question of the uncertainty. That is what we all, uncertainty of different things. That's how we decide to put ourselves in a space of peace and just allow that thought to just move through.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think because of this uncertainty, many of us are afraid.
Mm-hmm.
We live in fear most of our lives because of the uncertainty. Because we always want to know what is going to happen next. You know, we live in a society, we just want to know what the next minute is going to hold for us, what the next minute is going to bring for us. We're not allowing life to unfold. We always want to know what is the next big thing gonna happen. Because I guess it's because is that because of the conditioning of the mind? Is it because pressure from society? Can you explain for us, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's very common because we are curious,
Right.
right? And that's a human nature, and that curiosity bring many good things also. When you're curious, you want the answer, and when you want the answer, you study, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
I look into this kind of bothering feeling about death is something like a good friend that might try to tell you what you don't want to hear. Yeah, but sometimes we just need that. We just need that.
Yes.
I remember Steve Jobs, that who passed away. He said when he knew he gonna die sometime soon, he want to spend every minute, every day of his life, the best thing for the people, because it's not certain, right? What happened after we die, but what we can grab for sure is the present moment.
Right.
It's now, and quite interesting. I learned from my interaction that sometimes in the Western world, you don't want to touch on death too much. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about something else. but in Buddha teaching have something quite interesting. Look at death in the eye and become more alive.
Yes.
That we know it's gonna come, so we need to take every moment, and this is uncertain too. No one can really, for sure which day.
Right.
Even someone in a chronic pain or something, the doctor will estimate, right? Which this day, that day. So that is something like uncertain, but present moment is now. So when we think about death, we spend our time the best for the one we love, for what we really want to do before we die. I think we turn that curiosity to be brevity, to be confidence that I can grab this present moment for sure. Let's do it before that uncertainty comes. So let uncertainty bring certainty in your life. That let's do it now.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Beautiful. That is so beautifully said. That is so beautifully said.
We are very action oriented monk. Okay. They also be okay, but what you're gonna do? What because what you do make your day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Monk Santis?
No, that said it beautifully. That completed my thought. Thank you, Monk Burin.
That is exactly that is the ultimate what you said there, because instead about thinking about that, look at what we can do now, this moment. how we can make an impact while we're here and fulfill what is our assignment in the moment now, because we know ultimately we will die at some point. But we have a golden opportunity that we can take that step, make that impact, live that purpose, and make that difference. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
My next question now is forgiveness. Many of us, we would normally say that, oh, I can't forgive that person, or I can't even forgive myself. What steps one need to take in order to forgive themselves and to forgive someone else?
Yeah, because Santi, you can.
Maybe I can leave the general answer to Monk Burin. I would like to answer in the very specific case of meditation. Because meditation was a big part of our topic today, and the idea of the silent mind in meditation was part of our conversation. I would like to just say a few words about forgiveness and the steps to forgiveness in meditation. I think that many of us who don't meditate or try it and give it up or don't like it, and even many of us who do meditate, could really benefit from forgiving ourselves for our minds, forgiving ourselves for our minds being the way that they are. And specifically, forgiving ourselves for having messy minds, for having minds that are sometimes neurotic or self-blaming or simply too agitated. A lot of people feel like, well, I can't meditate because I'm no good at it. When I try to meditate, my mind just jumps around. So it's not for me. Other people, they can have silent minds, they can meditate, but that's not something I can do. Again, that's based on a misunderstanding. I've taught meditation for a long time. I've been a meditator for a long time. I can promise you, most people's minds jump around most or all of the time. Many, many, many of us, especially in our contemporary culture, have thoughts of not liking our minds, of not being comfortable with how we're thinking, of not liking the feelings that are passing through us and coming up. And it can be, at first, it can feel painful to confront that in meditation. That is what you see when you look inward, when we close our eyes and look inward for many of us. So as a practical step, I would like to suggest practicing forgiveness simply with the flow of our own thoughts and ideas. Whatever comes up when you're practicing meditation, meet it with first acceptance. Just simply acknowledge, okay, this too is coming up. It doesn't mean that you encourage every thought that comes up or that you say that it's a good thought, because often a lot of ugly thoughts come up. But we meet it at first by saying, okay, this too. And then we can decide how to proceed, where we want to go from there. But we need to forgive ourselves for having the minds that we do, moment by moment, thought by thought, feeling by feeling. It's like, okay, we accept this is how it is. Now what? What's next?
Yeah. Yes. For the forgiveness, I was asked this question a lot. I think there's two levels, to that forgiveness challenge. The first one is there's some truth in forgiveness, that why someone else needs forgiveness and why ourselves also need forgiveness. Then we don't hit the wall. Like, we need to see the truth in it. If we're not enlightened yet, we still have a certain levels of ignorance. Ignorant means I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not bad intention. It's just something I just don't know. Or maybe someone just don't know who you are, don't know. And that's the fact. They like it or don't like it, or we like it or we don't like it. We still have that ignorance, certain level. So if we can reflect that, oh, in the last 1 year, do we have something when we reflect back, oh, I should not do it? You will find something. In the last 1 month, we have something or not. In the last 1 week, or even yesterday, without forgiveness, we get stuck.
Yes.
Without forgiveness, we cannot move forward. We not
Right.
clean
True.
our glass and take something
True.
new.
True.
So it's not something super nice to have forgiveness. We need forgiveness. Yeah, like we need to be wise that that's the truth, that we are not perfect. So we forgive ourselves, give ourselves the second chance, the third chance, the fourth chance, because we still here, and death is certain, right? That one day death's gonna come. It wastes time. Think about, oh, my version that I don't know. Forgive yourself and use your time the best for yourself and your family. And if you need some forgiveness, other people will have the same challenge of ignorance and I don't know. So should give them one. Then they can be taken out from the prisons in your mind. Yeah, not take them in the prison. Release them. Yeah, I give you a chance. I give myself a chance, and do something good together.
Right.
Yeah, I think that the first truth in forgiveness, that we need it really. If we don't have it, life is terrible. So practice it. Yeah, not look at forgiveness as something option. No, it's something to practice and to be more skillful on that. When sometimes it's not easy at all to have forgiveness for oneself or even for others. But let's see how far, how good you can go for forgiveness. I think that's one level that we'd like to share. But there's another thing that I think is more interesting. When someone do something you feel like you don't want to forgive, you don't like it, right? You don't like it. In the karmic world, if you not forgive them, it's like even you don't like it, but mentally you still connect to that person. You still call another trouble like that, because you still send your energy. Even I don't like it, but you put your energy that I don't like it, I will not forgive you. But once you release, maybe they have some bad karma by doing that to you, but you don't have any more bad karma involving with that. So if you want a better day, better time, forgiveness is something to speed you up. Yeah, to have a better life. Let's let go. What you done wrong to me is done, but I have nothing to do with that bad moment. Hope you have a good journey, have a better life, and me also, I will live a better life. So let's cut short that bad karmic connection, even if you don't like it. Be kind to yourself, okay? Not troubling yourself with the next one, because that connection of karmic relation. Let go.
Wow. Wow.
That is so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. So I like that everything you said is so beautiful, but the last part, how you guiding us and supporting us in disconnect from that karmic emotion, because once we still carry it, we're still connected.
Yeah. When you forgive, done. Like that moment, stop there. Yeah.
Listening to you, Monk Burin, this brings me to the next question. I'm going to pedal back to what you said concerning about the software. We always have that software.
Yes.
So let's say we just finished talking about forgiveness. So let's say we're living in this present lifetime and we're not forgiving an individual, right? That is stored in our hard drive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we come back again in a next lifetime, that comes back with us.
It seemed like that the virus in the software will come back to you. We need to reset and delete it. Through the Buddha has three things: giving, ethics, and meditation. That's how we reprogram, and then we don't call for another bad time. So present moment is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the one takeaway from this morning is the present moment. We are given this present moment that we could make changes. We could upgrade our hard drive, as you said. We are given this present moment to delete certain things from our hard drive so that we don't have to come back and to relive those things again in a next lifetime, because as you said, Monk Burin, that these things are stored
Yeah.
on our hard drive.
Yeah.
So when we come back again, sometimes we run away from things in this lifetime,
Yeah.
but it is stored there. So when we come back again in the next lifetime, we gotta live those things again because
Yeah.
it is stored in the hard drive. Am I correct?
Yeah. I think that's something. It's not in French, but in English now, déjà vu.
Deja vu.
Oh, what this? And sometimes we're curious why. Hey, I meet you before, or
Yes.
somewhere. It is from the collectiveness in your software that make you recognize a person, even in a bad moment. It's like a deja vu that you have been dreaming about it, and then it's happened. It's that's karmic collective. It's very scientific, but it's like a very advanced science to the subconscious level.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you touch on that. I hope people can understand.
Yes.
That's a very interesting software purification for our good life.
Yes.
If we can do it, it's not only now, but in the future until nirvana or eternal heaven for all.
Yes. My last question to both of you: what is your one wish for the world?
Because Santi, can you? And then I think I will list some short meditation at it.
Yes, of course, we're going to close out with a short meditation. Yes. What is your one wish for the world?
Oh, I wish the world peace. More peace.
Mm-hmm.
All the good things that we hope for the world all follow from inner peace. That is the foundation for, I think, all of the things we're all longing for our world. When we read about all the terrible things that are happening, they're all rooted in what Buddhists call the defilements: greed, hatred, delusion, lust, anger,
Selfishness,
sorrow, fear, selfishness.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole litany all follows from inner turmoil, inner stress, inner pain.
Yes.
May all be peaceful.
Yeah.
Sadhu. So Karen, Joanne, do we have like a 1 minute for meditation at the end?
Yes.
Of course, please.
Yes. Please.
Yes. My master, he often said this: world peace, true inner peace. And I think that's something very relatable to Bhikkhu Santi, wish for the world. But recently, I try to look into something practical that to achieve that peace or inner peace, what we should do. And what I wish for the world, that the whole world start with myself. Be wise and be kind. Be wise and be kind. More and more each day. And that's how we're going to have more inner peace for ourselves. And maybe from that, be wise and be kind that we show to the world. It's inspire other people to find their own peace and happiness. And be wise and be kind start in the silence. So if you don't mind, we will have some moment of wisdom from silent mind a little bit. And I think that will make our wish come true. Let's start with ourselves. And then anyone right now who watching, that let's do some, meditation moment together. Yeah, if Bhikkhu Santi, you don't mind, would like to take that guided meditation for just 1-2 minutes.
Oh, will you lead us, Venerable Burin?
Yeah, I will lead just short one.
Yeah, thank you.
So can I start now, Karen, Joanne?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so if anyone already meditate, you know what I'm going to do. But if you are new, it's a shower. A shower for our mind. So what I simply do is we're gonna make our body feel comfortable. There are two things: comfort and consciousness. No stress, no struggle, no fight. It just allows space and time for your beautiful heart, for your beautiful mind. It's already there. It's already there. So we just surrender, relax the whole body, take a deep breath, and bring your attention within your heart, within your soul, like a back to your body. And sometimes we go to the middle spot in the body. We call that the middle way within. Yeah. So I will lead you there, and then we stay there and let everything settle down for a moment. Okay, so at this moment, let's spend this precious time together. Will peace come from our inner peace. So allow your body and mind settle down. Gently close your eyes and feel comfortable, easy throughout your body. Then take a deep breath if you like. Breathe in deeply into your stomach and breathe out slowly through your nose and mouth. In and out. In and out. When you breathe in peace, joy, and happiness. When you breathe out all concern and tension. And remember, you are the light. You are the shining hope of yourself and the universe. Allow your breathing to bring more peace, more calmness. When you feel more natural, easy, you can breathe as normal and allow your awareness traveling back to your body. Settle down in your heart, in your soul, around the middle part in your body, and just surrender. Peaceful, gentle, and relaxed. Let the water of kindness, the water of peace, shower your mind, shower your heart, and continue meditating in silence for a moment. พุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสทิภาวันตุเต And slowly and gently open your eyes. Still remain calm and peaceful inside yourself. Sadhu. That's my shower.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sadhu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bhikkhu Santi, Karen, Joanne. This wholesome moment.
Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you.
We just want to take this opportunity to thank both of you for coming into this space with us, soul, light, and body this morning, and sharing with us the wisdom of silent mind. There is so many topics we touch on this morning, and I hope that the audience take away one piece from this morning, because both Monk Burin and Monk Santi help us to understand ourselves more in depth and how we can go within and start to shine the sun, the light from within, how we can be of service to humanity, how we all could come together as one and help each other, how we can upgrade our hard drive so that when we come back, we can able to come back being upgraded. Each moment that we live, we are given this golden opportunity to upgrade our software and upgrade our hard drive so that we can able to live the life that we are looking to live. It all starts with us. We touch on forgiveness, how important is forgiveness. Because when we don't forgive ourselves and forgive someone else, we remain stuck and we become even angry with ourselves. So many times you see we are being that angry, it's because we are stuck and we still attach ourselves to that person who we are not forgiven. So thank both of you this morning for touching on each one of these aspects about our lives, and you help us to understand in depth about it. And to the audience, thank you so much for tuning in with these beautiful comments. The comments are absolutely beautiful. The questions are beautiful. It really helps us to bring out what you really want to know. And if there are questions that you still have in mind, you can always send us a message, or you could even write Monk Burin or Monk Shanti and ask them the question that you have in your mind. Ask them and they will answer you. To Tommy, thank you so much for being behind the scenes. Joan, thank you so much for joining us today also. Any words, Joan, before we go?
Look, everything was said.
Yeah.
Everything was said. We just rested right where it is because there is so much value was added to this moment.
Yeah.
It has given us a level of clarity, new insight, new perspective, and give us a level of guidance as we leave the moment moving forward. Our next step, whatever that next step is. We've gained a lot of clarity about depth, about certainty, about staying present, about showering our mind. There is so much was exchanged in this moment that has been so profound. So we are so grateful and thanks to both of you for giving us that level of new way moving forward from this moment forward. And not to be fearful, but to be encouraged.
Yes.
To be encouraged in this moment to move forward and not being afraid of the level of uncertainty. Yes. Let's focus what we can do today. Let's focus on what we can do this moment forward and live our best, our true essential self with a level of inner peace, love, joy, kindness, and happiness. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Joan. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. This present moment is all we have. It's all we have, this present moment. So if you have to pause and sit in silence, the wisdom is there in the silent mind. So find a quiet place and just sit. If you're driving, you could park in a parking lot and just sit there for a few minutes and go within. If you're struggling with challenges, go within. You will find the wisdom there. You will find the answer there that you're looking for. Quiet, slow down. As Monk Burin said, slow down, because we are moving so fast and we are even forgetting about ourselves. So we need to slow down and go within and find the answers that we're looking for. As Monk Burin said also, the sun is within. The SUN, it's within. The light is within us. And we are all here to shine our light so we could help the world. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very
These podcast, webcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, I must thank both